This recording is for the American English, and American English meaning the pronunciations are specific for the American English language. This will be the pronunciation with some IPA, standing for International Phonetic Alphabet, and some definitions. I apologize that I misspelled definitions. That should be a T-I-O-N-S instead of an S. I just now caught that. Our first word is schedule. Schedule is a word that I have recognized as being problematic for some people because it's pronounced often with as the D-U-L-E as dual. So schedule instead of schedule, jewel. That's what these symbols are in the International Phonetic Alphabet. So if you are familiar with it, this is what it would look like. And this will give you the symbols that will give you some direction for pronunciation. If you're not familiar with it, I will share with you, along with this video, a IPA document that will assist you. Situation. This is another one that I've recognized as being troublesome for some. Situation is what I hear. There's not an E in the middle. Situation or situation where the U is ignored. This is what it should look like. Situ. What looks like a stretched S, the fourth letter from the left, is called a schwa. That has the sh sound. So every time you see the sh, the schwa, that is sh. Situ, and then wei, shen. Situation. And of course, these didn't need definitions because I only have 9 students, and amongst the 9 of you, I know that you know the definitions of these past 2 words, and this one as well. Decision. Decision. You hear the Z sound, which looks like that interesting 3 in the middle of the international phonetic symbol that looks like a 3 with a flat top. Decision. Decision is what it would sound, what it looks like it would sound like, but it's decision. Instead of decision, it's decision. The I that looks like a capital I but short is has the sound I. So it'd be decision instead of decision. Often the reason this one is a selected often mispronounced word is because it's pronounced as decision. And decision is incorrect. It's decision. Then we have a fish, salmon. Now, since I do know that you know what it is, I know I did not need to put the definition, but for fun, I put the definition along with a picture, um, just to make this a little bit more interesting. Large edible fish. Not all salmon are large, but I guess if that's what the definition is, that's what it is. Popular game fish, yes. Um, and it is prized for its pink flesh. The pink flesh is what makes it so tasty. Um, Matures at sea but migrates to the freshwater to spawn. This is a word that I've had personal struggles over recently because I thought I've been pronouncing it right. Almond, almond, almond. The the two triangles I have learned today from one of the students means that this is a short A. Ah, almond. Well, now it doesn't sound as strange as I thought. I have grown up calling it almond because I had an almond tree in my backyard. This word, the British pronunciation would be hoff. We can hear this in the New England states as pronounced as hoff. Um, as a matter of fact, one of our students lives in one of the New England states or close there too, on the upper northeastern states. Um, and I'm not sure how it would be pronounced, but you probably have there's probably a variety of dialects in that area. But half, 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 ah. The ah is that A and E that look like they're stuck together back to back. That's the ah sound. The one and only sound that we have in the American English language only. We can't claim the th because that's also in excuse me, that's also in British English. Genre. Genre did have to be pronounced, and I did feel like I needed to put a definition in here. As a noun, it is a noun. Category of artistic composition, as in music, literature, characterized by similarities in form, style, subject matter, etc. Um, that's normally the two areas are music and literature that you hear people use the term genre. Now, I've also often heard it used towards films. Since I have studied films, I have recognized that genre comes up quite often. So, movie types, um, or a genre can also refer to the time period of movies. Oh, movies of the 1940s, of the 40s to the 50s, to the late 50s, right after World War II and when Hollywood was just getting on its feet again. Um, so this word is genre. Even though the first E, the second letter is an E, it is a genre. And then we have clothes, another one that some have had trouble with. This word is by default plural. If you're speaking of one shirt, it is plural. If you're speaking of pants, the reason pants are called a pair of pants is because the word is plural. Um, the origin of this word would be very interesting to look into. Um, if someone had the time and the desire to do so, but to see why it's plural and so forth. So clothes. Segue. Now, the definition I was hoping to find is that I've got two definitions, but neither of them are the one I was looking for. So in music and film, to move without interruption from one scene to another. They segue from one point to another without it being an obvious transition. Um, it's seamless, in other words. Or number two, allow one song to segue into the next. Uh, I gave an example today of having a conversation and someone bringing up another topic and it segues into the next topic, which I use it that way quite often. Um, and then an uninterrupted, and by the way I just mentioned using it in a conversation is to make it smooth, make a smooth transition and it appear to be uninterrupted. It transcends to the next topic without it being an abrupt change, like dropping the previous topic rudely and then changing to another one, or an uninterrupted transition from one piece of music or film scene to another, which is pretty redundant to to um, the first one. And notice it's listed as a verb in 1 and 2 and a noun as the last one. This is segue. Vegetable. Is that how it's pronounced? Is it pronounced as vegetable or vegetable? Vegetable is how it's spelled. It's pronounced vegetable, as if the second E doesn't exist. The one before the G is pronounced. The one after the G doesn't show up. In the International Phonetic um, transcription. And since you all know what vegetables are, again, I did not put a definition in. Comfortable. Okay, it's spelled comfortable. Comfortable. Er. Comfortable. So it sounds like an ER instead of an OR. Comfortable. Again, a word that goes without the need of a definition. This word is often mispronounced by Americans, and I call it a lazy tongue kind of pronunciation. You can guess how it's pronounced by those I'm referring to. It's often pronounced as library. It's not a library. A berry can be a raspberry, a blueberry, a blackberry, but not a library. So it's a library. There's two R's. And as you will see, library. Again, since you know what this is, many of your languages pronounce this as biblioteca. Um, I know in Russian it is biblioteca in Spanish. I'm not too sure about Portuguese, but I think it's close. Um, anyway, you know the meaning of the word, and you know what a library is. So make sure you pronounce both R's when you speak this word. Don't allow your tongue to get lazy and say library or to drop letters. And uh, R is an easy word, easy letter to drop in a word. And R is a very important letter in the American accent. The American English accent, the R is a very powerful and controlling letter. It makes the decision on many words of how the whole word is pronounced. And if you would like, I can do a whole video on that and explain why and give examples. It's very ruling. The R is a ruler of letter pronunciations. And you could probably think of some of your own for that matter. And that is all for now.